all look the same? Not really, right? Starting from the sizes to the fingerprints, the nail texture, and also these brown veins that go around, each and everything is different. And also, talking about a bit of a fun fact, if only we pop up a thumb, it would be a thumbs up. And also, to say high five, you need 5 fingers. And peace be with you, it's just represented by 2 fingers. Everything is different. Toastmaster of the day and my fellow Toastmasters. It is the same with you, me, and all of us who are here today. We might be similar in structure. We might be named as humans for a specific reason. We might be called as people in general. But that doesn't mean we are all the same. Because starting from the physical appearances, to the way we think, to the way we act, the simplest things like attitudes, looks, opinions, and ideas are different from one another. And this difference itself makes us unique humans. And this uniqueness brings so much color, flavor to this dynamic world. Going back to the memory lane, on the 19th of July, 2021, I was given this task at hand along with a few more batchmates from my faculty. You know, those days there was a whole hustle along with this chaotic situation where the KDU Act came out and where people tried to have negative opinions on KDU, and it was a whole problematic situation. And the faculty came up with a small strategy plan to use our brains in order to tackle with this situation. And yes, of course, I got the possibility to be a part of this. Being the coordinator in one of the 2 teams, which is in specific the Gen Z team, became one of the greatest privilege to learn about reaching consensus to a greater level. We started out with a roundtable discussion. It started with just 2 questions. Why did you join KDU and why did you choose the IR degree? But after that, we were divided into certain themes and the brainstorming came up. My dear Toastmasters, this is where we found the different ideas, the differences that were brought out by each and every person throughout the team. When one was telling, do this, the other was telling, do that. But collectively, we were working on one aim. That is to create a positive image regarding KDU to the outsiders, to tell them what's happening within the walls of KDU, to tell them the unique experience, the significance of this university. So, on the 21st of July, I conducted the first Zoom meeting along with the team members. Initially, we had 12, but now it has risen up to 30 members. So with these 12 members, what I discussed was, okay, in order to create content for these Gen Z platforms, what are we going to do? And now came the flow of ideas. The plate was full by the end of the day. One was telling about articles, the other was telling about interviews, and also talk shows. And one particular girl told me, you know, Prasansa, it would be hard for the video editors to continuously make videos. Let's vary our content from articles to interviews and every sort of things. And also I have a small idea. Why not we go with a memo too amidst all these formal content? And my dear Toastmasters, this is where I should consider her idea if I have to reach consensus. Reaching consensus means you have a proper platform, a foundation where you find every person to give ideas. You respect them, understand them. You open your mind, ears, and heart to whatever the idea they give. And also, you consider them. Common goal, common aim, so much of ideas, but all ideas inculcated to bring out one particular output or decision towards the success. And yes, we did consider. But do you know what's the difference between consensus and also compromising? When you're compromising with a person, sometimes we can't really get those ideas because if the majority says no, we can't really do that. And sometimes a person really needs to change their ideas because of compromising. But consensus means if an individual seeks truth, consensus is an optimistic thing where you focus on collective decisions and finally you search as a group for the consensus. Now, when it comes to a genuine leader, they don't really go in search of consensus, but they mold consensus through the team members by giving them an open platform to discuss every matter. From reaching consensus about content to solving each and every problem within this project of Gen Z, we have been able to reach a pinnacle of success. We have been able to reach the common general public, tell what's happening in KDU, tell our own experiences. Every single detail was touched with every aspect. And this all was not my effort, but the collective effort of a group who was able to reach consensus finally by opening the platform for everyone to listen to others' ideas. My dear Toastmasters, don't practice compromising all the time. Work with consensus if you're working over to you.
Very good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I'm pretty sure most of us may have most definitely, at least once in our lifetime, seen how baby elephants are tied to a chain in maybe zoos, and sometimes we do see it every now and then. Now, have you ever wondered why this magnificent animal, as it grows up, never dares to break free from this chain, although it's entirely possible given its strength? Well, let me tell you why. Since it is being chained and shackled from a very young age, the elephant grows up believing that it can never overcome or overpower the strength of the chain. And thereby it grows with the mindset that it will be forever shackled to this chain and that it is meant to live a life of this sort. However, obviously, as we all know, this isn't the truth. Ladies and gentlemen, this is you and me. When you water grass, it most definitely turns out in the color as it is supposed to. But when you don't, it doesn't. When you nurture something with the strength, with the knowledge it needs, with the love and care it needs, it grows up believing what it definitely needs, just like the elephant. If the elephant is not shackled, it would most definitely know its strength. It would most definitely know that it's not meant to be shackled and live a life of such restraint. So just like when we water grass and give it the necessary care so that it grows up in its natural habitat as it is meant to, just the same way the elephant would had it been nurtured and not shackled. Each and every one of us deserve love, care, affection, and we need to be nurtured so that we can grow and be people who we are meant to be in our natural habitat, just like grass, as it would turn out whenever it is watered. Over to you, table topic master. Toastmaster Amna. For a first evaluation, like you just told me, I believe that you created a fine fabric of an evaluation. So to start off with, let me point out what I really liked about your evaluation. So you layered your evaluation, which with a really fine-tuned structure. That is, you very nicely segregated the good points and the points of improvement, and you very effectively transitioned into what you really liked about the speaker's speech and what you thought would be good points of improvement. Now, in terms of what you pointed out as what you really liked in terms of her content, I found that you had really paid attention to little facets in her speech, because you actually looked at the speech in a really different way. When you pointed out how Toastmaster Salome actually presented the audience with a list of content which we were supposed to expect as an audience, thereafter how she very effectively addressed every single question she posed to the audience, I found that you really looked at her speech in a different angle. And that is the way of giving effective feedback, which through which you serve justice to the purpose statement of your project as well. Now, with that being said, I believe that you fine-tuned your evaluation in a really nice way. However, I did find that this fine fabric did have a few tattered ends here and there. So first and foremost, I found there was a lack of voice variation and expressions. If we could use a bit more voice variation. So for an example, when you were pointing out her points of improvement, you could have lowered your voice a bit. However, to Master Salome, I found that you could improve in these areas. And for the points you liked, I really liked this about your speech. This was really nice. I found that it was brilliant. That way you would have really enticed your audience really well. Then I did find that you exceed the time limit. So as a tip for this, we can work on our organization a little bit more. Now, I found that your structure was perfect, but I found that you had quite a few plus points to give out to your speaker. Now, that is a good thing. However, in order to stay intact with your time, we could maybe reduce the number of plus points, or we can maybe condense all of it into one big point so that you can quickly go through it, right? And you could also, for an example, you could use 2 plus points and 2 points of improvement, or 3 plus points and 2 points of improvement. That way you would really stay in touch with time as well. And I also do recommend you congratulate your speaker by the end of your evaluation. What you did was you used that at the beginning. Now that's all right, but your end was a bit vague. You just abruptly ended. So in order to make things, you did sum up the content of your evaluation, but we could have ended it a bit better by congratulating your speaker and also wishing the speaker best of luck for his or her future speeches as well. So with that being said, to sum up, you did in fact create a fine fabric, like I said earlier. You had brilliant structure, spot on ways of looking at content, really nice ways of looking at content in that case. And also to work on, maybe we can work on a bit of voice variation and organizing your evaluation a little bit more. So you can jot down your points and take time in order to go through what you have jotted down and create a really good evaluation just before you deliver it at the meeting. With that being said, well done on this project, on the completion of this project, Toastmaster Amna, and I wish you all the best for your future speeches as well.
Thank you for feedback.